Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, so I'm just reading some world cultures. Thought I'd make a video real quick, just to talk about life right at the moment. Let me get my. I'm not very prepared, as you can see, but that's okay. Yeah, so there's been a couple of things that have happened in the past couple of weeks that have been very good, and they've made life very fruitful. And then there are things to come, and so I'm just super excited. And I wanted to share some of this with y'all. I might do a recap at the end of the month of October because, like I said, this is like the really good month for me. I don't know, we'll see, but I'll just talk about what I've done, what's coming. So, we had our sailing regatta to Oklahoma on around. Also, this is a cool planner. It's called Walk by Faith. Highly recommend it. Yeah, on the 1st and 2nd of October, actually, so right on the get-go, we had an Oklahoma regatta, and I went with a couple of people, and it was really fun. We just had a great time. I was basically one of the only people who had wind on the sails while we were there, so that was nice, too. Yeah, so it was good. I'm trying to figure out what to say about this, but like the team and I, we went out, we like hung around. Like the first day was nice. We just like talked to other teams and stuff, got to know each other. But yeah, it got a little tiring afterwards, like because then like there's no wind and nobody was sailing. We're like, oh my god, I should have brought my homework to do. So that's what we did the next day. But on that, what is it? Yeah, we all got barbecue on the first night, which was really cool. No, was that the second night? Yeah, it was the second night. It was the second night we got barbecue. The first night I went out with like Annie and Will and her dad and grandpa, which was awesome too. But yeah, we got barbecue, the whole team. We hung out, just really great time, good stuff happening. And hey, we came back and I did schoolwork for two tests that I had on Monday: a World Cultures 3 exam and a QBA exam. And so I'll tell you, QBA, I did shit on the first one. I got a 57.78 or something. I don't even know how I got a 7.78 or whatever. But so I was like, oh dang, and I really got to study. So I studied like the whole 5-hour car trip for QBA, and then I got back and I studied for the World Cultures 1 exam. I was just burned out like Midland, their song, you know. So yeah, I was actually yeah, I mean I did good though. The next one I got an 88 on that QBA, so I'm very happy about that. It raised my like confidence in myself again. My competence went up, so confidence went up as well. In World Cultures 3, I haven't gotten back my grade yet, but on the multiple choice I got 36 out of 40, which really makes me happy. And I mean, yeah, that's just a really good deal. So, and then we had a group exam. We got like a 95 on it or something the next day on Tuesday, which was fine. I don't know if much else happened that week. Yeah, Diego and I went to the gym, I think on Tuesday also, which was really fun. We hung out, we did that. We went and got Panda afterwards. And then Wednesday, I'm trying to remember this all on. Oh yeah, so then, and I think on Tuesday night, I also called Nick, and we had a really good talk about like spirituality and things like that. So that was really cool. You know, like we just talked about like Kanye and like Donda. Dude, I keep like getting so self-conscious about like this like little neck fat or like face fat, I think. Yeah, it's a little face fat. I'm a little chubby, you know, so I could lose some weight, but also pretty happy. So it's not really that big of a deal. Um, yeah, so Nick and I had a good talk. That was really fun. And then on Wednesday, I called my mom. And we had a really good talk just about like life in general. Called Uncle Mark, and we had a really good time. You know, he's not the type of guy to say I love you, but I've been working on him like that. And so when he said it like I mean, second time he probably said it like with his chest and like confidently and just like towards me with a laugh, and it was great. I was like, oh man, this is good. So that made me really happy. Um, and then I had a good talk with Uma afterwards. Just another talking about the German club, which I'll get to in a little bit. And then on Thursday, I believe. Yep, I had dinner with Andrew. We had a really good talk. I just wanted to clear some things up with him, just about the week. I was having a rough week, and I was kind of neglecting him, and I felt bad about it, and I wanted to tell him that I'm sorry. But we hashed it out. He was like, "No, it's okay, man. Like, I don't really think it was that bad." And so I was like, oh, "Okay, good." And I was like, I just felt bad." So, and then Dad and Bella came in on Thursday, so that was nice. We went over. We watched a little bit of the Jeffrey Dahmer show, which was something. But I had to do some accounting homework, so I had to like go into the other room. And then Bella went to bed, and Dad helped me on accounting, which is nice. He has a CPA. But the thing is, like, it's been so long because his job doesn't require him to do any accounting, and so it's just super funny. He was like, "Oh shit, no, didn't know I can't do that anymore." So I thought that was hilarious. But also on Wednesday, actually, to backtrack, there's a cool thing about like for my career assessment and discovery class, we had a thing where they talked about like getting a master's degree for like management and like adding or getting your, I guess, like BBA and then having like consulting with it, which sounded pretty good because they're like you get a lot of like work experience if you do consulting. So that kind of popped into my mind. I was like, I gotta look into that a little bit more. But yeah, so yeah, and then Friday I got to spend more time with Dad and Bella. My 1010 QBA class got canceled because my professor was going up to Iowa. I think that's where his family is. So, that was good. Good for him to go out and spend time with his family. Good for me to go spend time with my family too, because then I went out to get breakfast at Magnolia up the road with my sister and my dad. And so it was good. I just had their leftovers, and we had a good talk about Kanye again, actually. And I talked to Andrew about Kanye. That's 3 times in a week. That's actually hilarious because I was like, oh, Andrew, Jesus is King is this like awesome album that he made. And he was like, oh, I love this. And so he had to just play listen. So 3 times this week. God bless, right? I gotta look right here. What did I do? Yeah, Friday. So then, yeah, I got to spend more time with Dad and Bella. We watched the greatest beer run ever, I think, or in history, or whatever. It's with Zac Efron. It's got the guy who plays who plays in Gladiator. I'm blanking on him right now, but anyways, great movie. It's actually based on a true story about this guy. His friends get deployed in Vietnam. And he runs beer to them. That's about all I'm gonna give you because that's basically the intro to it. But great movie. I really liked it. It was super funny because what better could you do in supporting supporting the soldiers than giving them a can of beer or a couple, because I was sitting there, I was like, there's like a dichotomy. Some soldiers, like the hippies were protesting against the war, which is a good endeavor in and of itself. But the bad part was like, then there were people that were like, oh, baby killers, like y'all suck. And it's just like, like I don't really like your group then because you're associated with all of that. And so then but then there's the other side who's like supporting the war, like more conservative area, and like, well, they're doing their duty to their country, and it's like, but it's also getting them the actual people that are doing their duty killed more. So then the guy's like, well, I'm not really supporting either. He's like, I'm just supporting the troops, so why don't I give them some beer? Well, I'll go travel over there. And I was like, that's so like the centrist like meme of like, I just want to grill for God's sake, or whatever. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, me and Dad watched that. We had some beers, so that was pretty fun. And then Saturday, didn't do much. Just hung out. Diego and I watched a little more Edge Runners, Cyberpunk Edge Runners on Netflix, which was fun. And then we went to the rodeo here in Waco because I got tickets to see Midland. Well, it turns out we went at like 4, and they started playing at around 9, and we were like, we gotta leave, and so it was kind of a whole deal. We couldn't get back in, but then I was like, well, like, can I? They're like, well, you can just buy more tickets, and I was like, how much are they? They're like 15 each. I was like, oh, well, of course, yeah, because in San Antonio, it's like each ticket was like for the worst ticket in the like I think in the Alamo Dome, like very far back, like up here. If the stage is where my face is, it's like up here. They were like $80 probably, and then it's like, and so to see Midland like right in front where like my face is, if my face is Midland, they're like the group's right here. Those tickets were like going like for 500. I was like, oh, just, and so to be that close in Waco and only pay 15 for a person, I was like, yeah, no shit, I'm gonna be paying for this. Like that, my opportunity cost, I believe, was so much lower. I was like, that there's no reason I shouldn't get this. So I did that, and we watched Midland. It was actually Diego's first rodeo and his first concert, and he really liked it. So I was very glad because he's not a country guy, but you know, he liked it. So, yeah, and then we finished that. I took him back to the apartments, and he drove back. And yeah, and then today, I was really like tired. Wasn't feeling too good. I struggled with. I actually lost to one of my sins Saturday morning, if I should say, like literally like at 12:30 or whatever. And so I was like super down, kind of bummed. And so I was like, oh man, I really don't want to do anything, which is, you know, how life goes sometimes. And I said, nope, I'm gonna go to mass. I'm trying the Catholic Church out. I need to learn more about it, which I'll get to in a second when I'm talking about what's happening for this the rest of this month. And so I went and I just listened to the message, and I prayed to God. I was like, God, like, and I've been praying like 2 days straight of like, God, please forgive me. And I was like feeling so bad because the other couple of weeks, like there was like divine inspiration where God fulfilled a dream that I had, and it went in complete motion of like everything that happened. I wrote about it in my journal. So if you have access to my journal entry, you'll see I'm writing like a crazy man because of like just how detailed, like how wild the experience was. It was like, I don't want to even tell it because I'm so tired of telling it. I've told it to like a few people, but again, like it's worth a while to tell it here because you're getting to see me do this, and this is kind of like a journal entry of who I am. So let me put this pen in the page. Let me put a pin in it, if you will. So I had a dream maybe about a month or so ago. Well, and I guess I could preface it with some context of like, sometimes I feel like God gives me dreams and it like it's prophetic, and I see these dreams like play out in real life later on. And sometimes I see the moment where the prophecy in the dream could have happened, but it didn't. And so for some reason, either I or the circumstances were different. And so it's like,